Hi guys, this is Black Music Canada. I'm Brianna, and today I'm here with...
Say hi.
Oh, we got some questions for you today. Our knees are going to be knocking into each other, but it's okay, guys.
Showbiz.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself first?
Yes, I'm an artist. Born and raised in Cameroon, Canada home the last 11 years now. Yeah, and I play and I sing. Music, that blends a multitude of styles, but my artistic journey really got started when I discovered soul music, like classic R&B tunes, and then these days I kind of just love to play around with all the different influences I have and try and create fun music.
Yeah, you have such a soft voice. It's perfect for soul music, guys. You said you grew up listening to all kinds of different soul artists, things like that. You had some artists like Marvin Gaye, Kyle, I believe, and Richard Gomez.
Oh, yeah. I feel like it was I grew up in a great environment in terms of being exposed to different styles. Obviously, lots of like American popular music and also African popular music. That's actually, having lived in North America for this long, that's like the part that these days I hang on a lot to, because it's so specific. And obviously, when hanging around here, you don't meet a lot of people that have that awareness of it.
Yeah.
And it's it's lovely music, and it's always fun to kind of like find creative ways to kind of channel these different influences.
What about it led you to soul music specifically?
Man, I feel like in a way, all music is soul music, right?
Really?
Like, in a way.
Okay.
Like, obviously, we have what we think of as the genre of soul music, but there's always something, ideally, there's something being expressed that's going to touch someone.
Yeah.
Finding a genre of music where I felt like I could have a voice.
Something that you felt that you could stand out.
Exactly.
Speak yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Without being too inauthentic or anything like that. Because I guess at their core these are very simple songs about about love.
I don't think they're simple. I don't think they're simple.
Well, they obviously they're not like. Which is not to say that they're easy. No, they're not. They're not simple. Yeah, I agree. I guess what I meant by that is that it's something that is so pure and so purely expressed that you accept
There's no question.
Yeah, exactly. You don't question it. That's what I mean by simple.
Yeah.
And it's actually very hard, I think, to actually do that. On a consistent basis.
Yeah. I mean, how long did it take you to reach?
I don't even know if I'm there yet. Honestly, I think the beauty of it is like with any art form or with any practice is obviously you learn and you integrate what you learn to what you do after. So you're always growing in that, which I think to me is an important part of doing it. I feel like the fact that, if every few weeks or every few months I can surprise myself and end up doing something that I didn't feel capable of doing a few months or a few weeks prior, then I'm thinking, okay, I'm learning and growing. And then the future is just this big question mark. It's like, okay, what are you going to do after that? So it kind of keeps me encouraged and excited to try out different things. And I feel like the basic ingredient to be a creator of any kind is an openness to just falling flat on your face in what you're doing.
Y'all heard that?
I mean, I think, right? It's like you have to be open to your own humanity and your own imperfection.
Yeah. You started your music career in 2019, right?
Yeah.
And you released Blackstone.
Yes, an EP that Blackstone was a part of. Yes.
Yeah, Blackstone, I saw reach 1 million streams on Spotify.
Yeah.
For your first song, at least your first published song.
No, to be honest, it's amazing. It feels great, obviously. To know, that you're reaching people and people are actually wanting to listen to you. It's amazing. And it just makes you want to, keep on doing it. And I feel very, very lucky that with the first project I was able to have a song like that, that kind of connected that way.
Is there a fear that you have to constantly hit that again and again?
You know what? No,
especially
really.
for a first song. You're like, oh God, I have to keep this going.
Yeah. In a way, not really, because obviously, when a song exists, it exists. If there's a song that you love, that song's gonna be there for you no matter what. It's not like another song's gonna come in and take the spot of that song in your heart. From that perspective, I don't really have any issues. And then the other thing is that legit, I feel like I'm legitimately learning more.
No matter what you're growing.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, one key thing actually that has changed since those days is like, I feel like I'm collaborating a lot more, at all kinds of levels.
I saw you had a song with Asa.
Yeah, exactly.
You talked to her last week.
Like ultimately there's always like, I see it as an opportunity to grow. And every time I play a show, it's amazing to know that at some point I'm going to play a song like Blackstone and there might be someone there that hasn't heard it. That's going to be like, oh.
No, hearing it in person today? Beautiful.
Thank you.
You consistently incorporate the guitar into your music. I want to know, does that take precedence over other elements in your songs when you're creating new music? Do you build the song around the guitar or do you build the song around something else?
Actually it's funny because we're just talking about, like songs like Blackstone and that sort of era.
Yeah.
And I feel like at the beginning of my journey as a songwriter, that was a key part of the process was we start with the guitar and you try and kind of come up with chords and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually decreased over time. I feel
really?
Like now. Yeah, because on the one hand, I feel like at my core, like really what I am and a lot of what I think draws people to me is like my voice, and how I sing and like how it comes across.
So did you get more confident in using your voice?
I mean, I was always, singing doesn't scare me in the least,
Okay.
So like that's never been an issue, but it's more so in terms of like the creativity. If I start with that all the time, then I'm always going to be very kind of
you're going to box yourself in.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so if I want the opportunity to explore different things and try new things, like you said, all flat on my face, then for me it starts with like kind of moving away from it. But the guitar, again, I don't travel anywhere without one. For me,
I see on your Instagram.
Yeah, right, exactly. But it's amazing.
You were talking a lot about falling flat on your face. Has there ever been a moment where you really every day? No, we did not see that in here. You were perfect in here.
You're very kind. No. And I mean, again, at the end of the day, that's what this is for. It's just about creating a space where you can express the range of everything that you're gonna do and find the thing that connects and that you feel comfortable bringing out for people to enjoy as well.
Being a Black Canadian artist, though, have you faced any difficulties in the industry or anything like that?
To be honest, I feel like there's just so much goodness coming out of everywhere from like Black Canadians. Thankfully, I feel like in my case, because I grew up in Cameroon, I grew up in a place where like being Black wasn't really something that you thought about every day because you're around, So I feel like that actually gave me a big advantage in terms of that. And
then when you came here, was that a culture shock to you?
Obviously, yeah. I mean, I've been moving to Quebec. I don't know where you come from. It's gonna be a culture shock. Yeah, it was. But again, I also feel like because before coming to Canada, I've been in an environment, I used to live in the United States, so I was in a lot of environments where I had to interact.
So you already had the United States
experience. Exactly.
Ooh, okay. So you came here, you were like, I'm perfectly fine.
Well, yeah, exactly. But to your point, to your question, yeah, it's something you have to deal with, but in my case, I just, it doesn't really feel like, I don't really feel like I've experienced any negativity as a result of that necessarily.
Okay.
But obviously, I'm not in people's minds. I don't know the kind of like categorizations, assumptions.
Well, you've surrounded yourself with good people.
No, well, yeah. And I mean, even me talking to you, like my entire career, I like to say this is user review generated, The only reason I get to do this is because there's people somewhere that enjoy the fact that I do it.
That's such a positive element.
So yeah, man, that's it.
Been around.
Oh, well,
and at one point you were a chemistry major.
Oh, yeah.
Before your music career.
Yes, I was.
Do you have any advice to any other musicians out there that are sort of in the same position as you?
I would say, it's nice if you enjoy studying something, if you have like a natural knack to understand something, but definitely think about how it's going to play out in the real world. Position where you get to study, like you're able to go to university and study, like it's an opportunity, So like make the most of that. There's many ways to do that, and I think it's pretty obvious that like going to school for music isn't a predictor for like having a music career and vice versa. So if music is something that you enjoy and that you love, you're going to find ways to keep that in your life.
You're right.
In any case, the bills are the bills. So like do what you have to do.
Our videographer felt that.
Yeah.
Bills are bills, guys.
Bills are bills, man. So it's okay, man. So like find something that you love. There's so much out there in the world to learn about and to like,
You just released your new EP, Kaleidoscope. You're so happy. Can you tell us about that creative process? What was that like? How long did it take? How did you start?
Damn, that is how much time you have. Like honestly, it was over like I want to say the last 3 years. That those songs kind of like started percolating. But I feel like really the defining thing for me is like the story of like relationships in terms of like the people that I've met that are kind of part of my musical environment today.
So all kinds of relationships, not just romantic.
Oh no! I'm really talking about like these collaborators and things like that. Well, obviously that plays into the music itself, but as far as like how it came about, how it was produced, recorded, and things like that, the people that play on it, these are some people that I've played with since I've moved to Canada and started making music. Some people I met that I met a couple of years ago, and I feel like it was really learning, in contrast to my previous EP, like Songs from Under Gravity. It was really having that, like working with so many people and trying to find ways to kind of like take the best of what everybody brings to that table and like make that into a beautiful dish.
Is it hard to turn it into music, or does that come naturally?
I think it generally comes naturally, I mean, it's hard, like the basic idea comes fairly quickly and easily, but then actually making it into something, ironing it out into a song and like, and like an arrangement, a production and everything, that's what it takes, having so many people around you, being able to sort of like contribute in different
bounce
ways.
Ideas off of
Exactly. I want to say principle, but an idea behind the EP was also just like trying, different things. Obviously I came from a very acoustic soul R&B kind of environment, and I, experimented a lot with like loops and kind of like bigger drum sounds and things like that.
We heard.
Yeah, well, So and that's what I'm hoping will continue.
Yeah, I do have one last question for you. Though. Like we mentioned earlier, you listened to Marvin Gaye, Kayo, and Richard Bona growing up. If you could collaborate with just one of them, who would it be?
I want to say Richard Bona.
You didn't have to think about it.
No, because I mean, I'm a legit, like I'm a fan of this, know, and just
that would be a dream.
It would be a dream. It would be fun. Like I think just someone that's so musically expressive in so many different ways. Like I don't even know what that would be like or what that would sound like. To be honest, like I would just even pick his brain and just
talk to him.
Yeah.
Stand in a corner and stare.
Yeah, exactly. Thankfully, we live in an era where like a lot of these people, the ones that are alive on social media, so you can kind of like
stare from
afar. Exactly.
From afar.
Respectful.
You can listen to it on all streaming platforms. I prefer Spotify, just gonna say it. And it was lovely talking to you.
It was my pleasure, man.
Clerel.
Thank you. Yeah, you got it, man.